Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy DLloyd. So NBA 2K17 is finally here, and I figured why not go ahead and start off these rebuilding season with my favorite NBA team. So we're gonna be going through and starting with the Los Angeles Lakers for this rebuild. So everything I'm pretty much going to keep normal. You can go ahead and see all the settings I'm going to use for this rebuild. I think the Lakers should be a pretty good team to actually use. They're my favorite team, so I know this roster in and out. They have a lot of very good young talent, so we don't need to trade a lot of those players away. We definitely want to see them actually grow in this league, and hopefully, you know, they can become 85 overalls, maybe 90 overalls before we are done. So going through the settings, like I said, I don't really do too much. I am turning, injuries off for this one, and I think everything else is pretty much going to remain the same. So this is the settings that we're going to actually rock with. And we'll go ahead and use the Los Angeles Lakers, like I said earlier. So they have a very good team. Now, D'Angelo Russell, I don't think I'm going to trade him. I'm not too sure yet. Obviously, you know, he's a point guard of the future. I think he's going to be, you know, should be in the high 80s at some point before we are done with this rebuild. So I don't think we're going to use him too much, but we'll go ahead. We'll see what not use him. I don't think we're going to trade him, but we will see what happens. As for the draft classes, really not a lot of draft classes out here yet, so we're just going to go ahead and take the best one. I don't think we have a first round pick this year anyway, so really should not matter. So we'll go ahead and look at our roster first off so you can see what we're kind of working with. So D'Angelo Russell, the top rated guy on the team, 79 overall. We got Luol Deng, who was also at 79 overall. Then we have Brandon Ingram at a 78. We got Julius Randle at a 78 as well. Lou Williams, Jordan Clarkson, who just signed a contract. Timothy Mozgov, who we paid a lot of money this offseason to try to acquire him. Larry Nance Jr., I am a huge fan of him. We just picked up Yee a couple of days ago, I believe, maybe a couple of weeks ago. Calderon is there as well. Nick Young, he definitely has to go, but his contract isn't that bad no more since they did restructure. No, not restructure, but they got the new ad money, so everybody's contract is crazy. And that $5.4 million is not as much as it used to actually be worth. So not too crazy about Nick Young, but we'll definitely try to trade him. If we can't trade him, then I'm good kind of holding on to him for right now. So first thing we want to do is I'm not sure who I really want to move right now. We'll go ahead and see if we can move Luol Deng right away. We'll find out what we can get back for him. And just so you know, I'm not planning to be realistic with this rebuild. I'm trying to get as good as I can, as quick as I can. That's pretty much the whole premise behind this thing. So we'll see what we can get for Luol Deng. I know we just signed him, but they're giving us Kent Bazemore right here and Thiago Splitter on 1-year deals. That might not be a bad thing right here. Kent Bazemore is a little bit cheaper. Splitter has a 1-year deal, so we can get rid of him after this year. So I'm thinking that might be the best move for us. Just cap-wise, we want to get as low as possible. So that shaves off a year and it shaves off $3 million. So we'll go ahead, we'll take this deal. So we'll bring Kent Bazemore over here. Thiago Splitter is coming to LA as well. So definitely takes me a while to get used to this new interface. They definitely changed it up a lot. So now the next thing we want to go ahead and do, we can see if we can move Thiago Splitter. Or yeah, I think we'll go ahead. We'll see what we can get for him. Or we can't get. We just picked them up. That's something that is new too. You can't trade nobody for, I believe, 2 months. Let me go back and look. 2 months after you pick them up. So that is definitely new. It keeps you from just getting somebody and then trading him right away. So that's definitely new. We'll go ahead and see what we can get from Nick Young. I don't think we'll get anybody good, but definitely does not hurt to try just to see what's kind of out there. But right away, nothing really crazy is out there. We can get Cephalosha for a year, and that's honestly about it. Really not a lot. Obviously, it's kind of realistic. Nobody's really trying to get Nick Young right now anyway, but there's not a lot of good players for Nick Young right now. So we'll go through and see what else we can try to pull some type of trade off. But the offers are not looking that great. So really nobody too interesting. Let's go ahead and actually look at our player contracts really quick. So we're negative $9 million in cap space. Kent Bazemore, you know, we just got him, so we can't trade him right now. Jordan Clarkson, we can hold on to him for a while. But as of who we really need to trade, I mean, we can kind of get rid of everybody and have, you know, some type of money next year. So we might be good year one. Honestly, we might just go ahead and rock with what we have. We're not trying to win no championship. We just want to go ahead and try to get as much cap space as possible. We can't trade Splitter yet. Maybe called on, but they all got 1 year deals, so they come right off our cap. So I'm not too worried about that, and I think we should actually be good to go. So this is the roster we have. Nothing special at all. Pretty much mediocre. Everybody's a high 70s on this team, so that's not bad, but we're not going to be winning no championships. Probably won't be making the playoffs in this difficult Western Conference, but we got D'Angelo Russell and Brandon Ingram. Those are going to be our 2 leaders for right now. Kent Bazemore is there as well. Maybe we should try to upgrade at center before we go through and get started. So let's see what we could get for Timothy Mozgov one more time, just to see if there's another center. Maybe Robin Lopez is here. We'll swap picks. I'm not too worried about those. But we save a little bit of money. That's $3 more million that we save. So we'll actually go ahead, trade him for Robin Lopez. So we get another center. Maybe a little bit better than Mozgov, but like I said, just pretty much shaving some cap off, trying to get as low as possible for free agency. So you definitely want to make a move. We're the Lakers. You know the Lakers have to make a move in free agency. So this is what we're rocking with for right now. We'll go ahead. We'll start simulating. And then I'll probably simulate the All-Star break just in case. I doubt it. We'll probably end up going through the whole season. But yeah, I'll come back when it's actually time to. I don't know what I'm doing right now. We'll come back after this. We'll probably be the end of the season. We'll see how the season went. Alright guys, so we ended up finishing 35 and 47. And believe it or not, we were around 500 during All-Star break, and then we pretty much just straight up collapsed during the second half of the season. But we're here for the season awards. It looks a little different. I like the layout. I like the interface of how everything looks this year in 2K17. But anyway, Russell Westbrook is the MVP, and I think he's going to be the MVP in real life. He is the MVP this year. 27 points, 8 rebounds, and almost 11 assists. This guy went absolutely crazy, almost averaged a triple-double, but we expect that from Russell Westbrook at this point. Rookie of the Year is going to go to Brandon Ingram. He averaged 15 points a game for us, just under 7 rebounds, and 4.5 assists, shooting 43% from the field. So not bad rookie campaign for Brandon Ingram. Brandon Knight is going to be 6th Man of the Year for the Phoenix Suns. DeAndre Jordan, Defensive Player of the Year for the Los Angeles Clippers. And then the most improved goes to D'Angelo Russell. 22 points, 4.3 rebounds, and just under 7 assists a game. So a pretty good year for D'Angelo, and most importantly, he shot 45% from the field, which isn't bad. Definitely want to get his 3-point percentage up. And then Steve Kerr is going to be Coach of the Year. The Warriors 63 and 19, a little low with Kevin Durant and 99 overall, everything offense and defense, but they're still going to be Coach of the Year. And then as for the All-NBA first team, pretty much the usual people on here: Russell Westbrook, Stephen Curry, LeBron James, KD, and DeMarcus Cousins. Second team, Kyle Lowry's on there, Brook Lopez is on there, and then the third team you got Jimmy Butler, Kawhi Leonard, Chris Bosh, Andre Drummond. Pretty much nobody surprising on any of these All-NBA teams. The all-rookie team, you got Brandon Ingram, Ben Simmons, Chris Dunn, Buddy Hield, and Dario Saric, I believe his name is. So really nobody unexpected on this list. And of course, we're not in the playoffs, so really nothing to it. But we'll go ahead and show what our stats look like for this our very first season. So we'll go through, look at our stats at least. Like I said, D'Angelo Russell averaged 22 a game. He led us in points. Brandon Ingram was second. Lou Williams, Robin Lopez, Jordan Clarkson averaged 10 points a game. Only 3 assists a game for Jordan Clarkson, but not bad. Julius Randle, he's getting rebounds like he's supposed to do, so 9.4 rebounds a game. Can't really complain with that. Do want to move up his points per game just a little bit, but I think we'll be alright for where we're at right now. So we'll go ahead, simulate through the playoffs because we're not in the playoffs, and we'll see what happens. But our team chemistry is going up, even though we're not even playing right now. But that is definitely a plus, up to a 95. We'll keep that going. And look at this, the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to repeat as champions, but they beat the Memphis Grizzlies. That's definitely a little surprising. I don't know how the Grizzlies got there. You see the Warriors lost in the first round to the Trailblazers, so that made the path a little easier. And then the Thunder, they went all the way to the second round, then got swept by the Memphis Grizzlies. So that's definitely a little interesting. Then the Philadelphia 76ers, they made the Eastern Conference Finals as a 7th seed. So definitely interesting how that all played out. Player retirement, we shouldn't have anybody on our team retiring. Hall of Fame, nobody should be going to the Hall of Fame from our team, but you have KG, Dirk, and Paul Pierce going. As for jersey retirements, this is new as well. I definitely like this, especially if you're playing your games long term. Players getting their numbers retired, that is definitely pretty cool. So you see Manu Ginobili, Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Dirk, they all got their numbers retired. So league meetings, this is all pretty cool, but I'm not too worried about them when it comes to these rebuilds. But you can see right here, they vote, they could change some rules, and that'll definitely be pretty interesting if you're playing. But draft lottery, I'm not worried about that just because we don't have a first round pick. We only have a second round pick. So all this I'm pretty much going to skip, but go to rookie signings just to see who we end up drafting. Probably won't sign them because they're probably not going to be that good, but we'll go ahead and see. In the second round, we got a 61 overall. So like I said, we're not going to sign him. We'll go ahead and let him go to whatever team he wants to go to. As for who we're going to bring back for option-wise, D'Angelo Russell, of course. Julius Randle, of course. Larry Nance, of course. We're bringing all these guys back. And everybody else we don't want to bring back. Nick Young, we might need to go ahead and trade you since you want to come back so bad. So we'll definitely do that. And that is something that's also new. You can make trades in the offseason now. This is long overdue. And finally, it is back. So LeBron James declined, KD declined, Chris Paul declined, Blake Griffin declined. So this could be a huge offseason. A lot of players, you know, they all want to get that new money. So a lot of players should be available when it comes to free agents. As for our free agents, I'm really not worried about bringing anybody back. So everybody could walk. We need as much money as possible to see what we could do. So day one, like I said, LeBron is there. Actually, Stephen Curry is a free agent as well. So I don't know, maybe he wasn't getting along with KD, but then KD is also a free agent. So that is absolutely crazy. But I don't think we got enough money to sign any of these guys. We're $8 million away from even being in the ballpark. So like I said, you can make trades now, and that is definitely pretty cool because you don't have to be 100% ready when it comes to free agency. So we'll look at our player contracts. Who was making a lot of money that we could get rid of? Lou Williams, you're gone. Nick Young, you're about to be gone as well. So we can see what we can get back for these two guys. And we'll see if we have enough money to play and get one of these top guys. So see what happens on the trade finder. We can't take a lot of money back at all. So we'll see what we can get back. Iman Shumpert, DeAndre Jordan. That is, I don't know why they'll do this, but hey, that might not be a bad deal because we do get a good center right there. We pretty much eliminate ourselves from getting a player in free agency, but we get ourselves a very good center. That is definitely interesting, something I definitely need to think about because that's not bad giving up Lou Williams and Nick Young for that. As for who else, nobody's really getting rid of cap space that we really need. So we could possibly do it. I'm still thinking about maybe going ahead and pulling the trigger. We could do this one right here. Get Cameron Payne, who is not bad. And then we'll get the cap space. Let me go back. This is definitely a tough decision, you guys. Let's go back and see what's all out there again. We can make a run, but then if we miss, I don't know. Because this is definitely tough. But there's 4 guys here. I don't mind getting any single one of them. We'll go ahead, and I definitely don't need a point guard. So we don't need to get a point guard. We don't need one. I definitely try to get LeBron, obviously, maybe Kevin Durant, or do I just go ahead and get myself a center for that trade? We'll go through and I guess make that trade for Cameron Payne. I think that's probably the best move. Go ahead, get rid of these guys, and make a play in free agency. See if we get somebody better than DeAndre Jordan. But that was definitely tempting, though. I'm not gonna lie. Or we go with the Golden State Warriors and just straight up take a couple draft picks, getting no money back in return, which isn't bad. Or we get Cameron Payne, who I like. Let's see what Cameron Payne's let's see what his potential is like on this game. Potential only is 79, so we'll go ahead and trade him to the Warriors. This will pretty much should ensure the Warriors can't get those guys back. So we'll go ahead and get a couple picks, get no money back in return. So we should be pretty good with at least trying to sign one of these guys. So Kevin Durant, It's probably the best guy to try to go with, but Stephen Curry is definitely tempting as well. Maybe we could offer him all contracts and pretty much see what happens. So KD, we'll go ahead and offer him for 3 years, give him that player option that definitely is a little more tempting, and then give him that no trade clause. So we'll offer that to Kevin Durant. Hopefully he'll take that one. I don't know if I should wait on the other guys. Let's go ahead and see what happens. So he ended up signing with the Warriors. Kind of assumed that LeBron James is still there, Stephen Curry is still there, and hopefully we don't swing and miss, you guys. We got a lot of money, but the Lakers have been swinging and missing a lot recently, so hopefully we don't do it. We don't need Stephen Curry. I know we do not need Stephen Curry, but it's tempting when Steph is sitting right there just waiting for you to take him on the team. We might have to, so we'll go ahead and give him that same type of deal, the max that we could give him, the player option, the no trade clause. See what happens. I don't know if it will allow us to offer both of them. Why not? I think it does. So we'll go ahead and do him the exact same way, the no trade clause, and see if any of them will take it. And they both bounced and went other ways. LeBron went back to Cleveland. Stephen Curry went back to Golden State. So it looks like we're swinging and missing right now pretty bad. So we can see if we can get Blake Griffin. This might be our next best thing for us. So we'll go ahead and pretty much just max out his deal. Do the same exact thing, give him the player option, give him the no trade clause, and see if he will come here. And he's still thinking about it. So we definitely need to try to get Blake Griffin. We've been striking out left and right, and Blake Griffin is going back to the Clippers, so nobody wants to come play for the Lakers. We got a lot of cap space now and really nothing to do with this. So time to go ahead and get a whole bunch of players for 1 year deals if possible. So we'll go ahead and offer Paul Millsap the max for 1 year. See if he could come down for 1 year. That might help us out a little bit. As for what else we want to do, we might not have a lot more money. So we'll see what Paul Millsap decides to do. He actually is going to sign with us. So we do get him. And then as for the rest of our roster, let's go ahead and look at this real quick. We got Paul Millsap, D'Angelo Russell, Brandon Ingram, Jordan Clarkson, Julius Randle. But that is about it for right now. Honestly, we got a lot of 70s, high 70s, and then but no true, superstars on this team, which is definitely surprising for the Lakers. You would assume they would land a free agent, but we were unable to do that. Actually, very poor trying to do it. So we need a shooting guard. We need 2 shooting guards according to this. So we'll go ahead and just try to get some young guys. Or not young guys, so we get some cheap guys and see what can happen. So we'll go ahead and offer you the minimum. Pretty much going to carry over this money to next year. And hopefully we can get somebody. So we signed Wayne Ellington. Still waiting on Barbosa. We get him. And I think we only need 2 more players in this free agency period. So definitely need to try to get some cheap players right now, honestly. See if we could do something. See if we could do anything this year. So let's go after Sullinger. We can't even afford Sullinger, so we're looking at minimums for just about everybody. So, all right. So James Johnson, he'll sign for the minimums. So we'll go ahead and offer him a contract, and then for power forwards, will Carl Landry sign for the minimum? He will. So we'll see if we can sign these 2 guys, and then we'll be done. So we're able to get them 2. And we're pretty much good to go. So we'll go to player progression, see how everybody progressed. Hopefully Brandon Ingram moved up a lot. Hopefully D'Angelo Russell moved up a lot. Because that's pretty much all we have. So this is our roster. Paul Millsap, D'Angelo Russell, Brandon Ingram, Jordan Clarkson, Kent Bazemore, Julius Randle. Our roster actually is not bad. We're just in that tough Western Conference. And it's definitely going to be hard for us to try to do something in this West. But hopefully we can try to make the playoffs. Maybe sneak in as a 6, 7, or maybe an 8 seed. We'll pretty much see what happens. So we'll auto-generate rookies. I'm pretty sure no one has the 2018 draft class. I probably should have looked, but we're good to go. Untapped potential. See where everybody's potential rating is at. Brandon Ingram's at a B+. D'Angelo Russell at a B+. So let's go ahead and move Brandon Ingram's up. And I think we're good to go. So advance to the season. As for trading, really not a lot I think we need to do. Millsap is getting paid $31 million, but that's just for this year. Robin Lopez could definitely go at the end of this year, getting that much money. But besides that, I think we are good to go. We should be ready to rock. So we'll go ahead, simulate this season. and we'll come back at the end of the year. Alright guys, so we end up finishing 45-37, a very good year for this roster. Looking at the MVP, Stephen Curry averaging just under 30 points a game, 8.3 assists. Rookie of the year is going to be Dennis Smith. Brandon Knight once again, 6th man of the year. Anthony Davis is going to be the defensive player of the year. Most improved goes to Cameron Payne. We had a shot at him, we did not take it. And then Steve Kerr is going to be coach of the year. You do see the Golden State Warriors ranking is dropping a little bit, 97 overall instead of a 99 overall, but they did win 66 games regardless. As for the all NBA first team, everybody's the same except for Marc Gasol. He was added to the list. The all NBA second team got Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Davis, and Damian Lillard is on the list as well. Everything else, pretty much what you guys expect. Nothing too crazy, it looks like. And yeah, so we'll go ahead, look at our stats for this season, see how everybody kind of performed, and then we'll go ahead and get this playoff started. So D'Angelo Russell, 21 points a game, a little drop off from last year, but still a very good year, 7.3 assists a game. Brandon Ingram had 14.5 points a game as well. Paul Millsap, 13.6 points, 8.7 rebounds. So Paul Millsap had a pretty, okay season, I guess, but not for $31 million. You would expect him to produce a lot more than that. Kent Bazemore, he held his own. Jordan Clarkson, he did all right as well. And yeah, that's pretty much how everything went. Julius Randle, he didn't start obviously because we had Paul Millsap there, but 6 rebounds a game, which isn't that bad either. So we are going to be taking on the New Orleans Pelicans, who are a 4 seed. So we'll go ahead, look at their roster as against our roster. Our roster is not bad. I mean, Paul Millsap is there. D'Angelo Russell at an 84 right now. Brandon Ingram at an 83 right now. But we'll go ahead and look at the Pelicans roster and see what they're rocking with. So Anthony Davis, you guys know he's a beast. Tyreek Evans is at an 81. Drew Holiday is at an 80. Buddy Hield is 78. Our roster is not overpowered, so we definitely have a shot at trying to get out of the first round. But let's go ahead, simulate these games, see what happens. So we lose game 1. We lose game 2. But now we're heading back to the Staples Center. Hopefully we can get a win there. We cannot. And it looks as if we might get swept. So let's avoid a sweep. We're able to do that. Let's see if we can get game 5. We're able to do that. Can we pull off a game 6 and anything can happen in a game 7? No, we cannot, as we get eliminated in 6. So not bad. Hopefully we could improve. Hopefully it's another good free agency class. You see the Warriors lost to the Rockets, and the Portland Trailblazers are going to be your NBA champions. So you see CJ McCollum averaged 27 points a game during the finals. It's absolutely crazy. They swept the Cleveland Cavaliers. That is crazy as well. So we'll go ahead and go back to this offseason. Vince Carter retired. He retired as a Washington Wizard. So that's kind of interesting. Staff retirements, and then Hall of Fame inductees. Vince Carter's the only one there. That's for league meetings. Look like they actually changed some stuff. So players are now eligible for the draft once they reach 18 years of age. Implement a possession arrow rule, pretty much like college. So that's pretty cool. And then change the times the offense is given to advance the ball to 6 seconds. So all this stuff is kind of interesting. It definitely changed the way you kind of play the game over time. So we'll go ahead and see. I think we had a pick. I think I just simulated past this draft. I think we had a first round pick, but we only got a 68 overall. So we'll sign him just cause and bring everybody else back. So D'Angelo Russell coming back, Brandon Ingram coming back, Larry Nance Jr. coming back, Zubac, we're going to bring him back as well. So we're not going to change any of that. The rest of the league, Karl Anthony Towns is staying put, but Paul George might be a free agent. Carmelo Anthony might be a free agent. LaMarcus Aldridge might be a free agent. So not bad. Hopefully we can get something good out of that. We'll extend the qualifying offer to Julius Randle. As for our free agents, we'll let Millsap walk. He wants to test free agency anyway, so that's definitely good. Only person we want back is Julius Randle. So we'll leave that restricted free agent offer out there for him. And we'll see what's all out here in general. So Paul George is here. DeMarcus Cousins is here. If we can get DeMarcus Cousins, that will be huge. The Kings and the Nets have offered them deals. How much money are we short? We're actually not that bad. So offer this guy the max. Hopefully we don't strike out on him. We've been striking out on everybody. DeMarcus Cousins, you get an offer and you're still thinking about it, but we definitely need you to come. So he ended up accepting another offer. but then he's back out on this free agent list. So we'll offer him again the exact same deal. I don't know why he doesn't want to take you. You know you want to come down to LA, DeMarcus. So we'll go ahead and offer you the no trade clause again, player option, the max money you could get. And he actually accepts the offer finally. So we finally get a big time free agent. We bring DeMarcus Cousins down here, and that should help free us up some more money, because we can now go ahead and we can clearly try to go ahead and trade Robin Lopez. So see what we can get back for him. But DeMarcus Cousins is huge, you guys. That should definitely help us out a lot this season. And hopefully we can get some type of offers for Robin Lopez. If not, we'll go ahead and try to use a salary dump. We can use a Celtics first round pick, and I think that's probably our only salary dump type of move that we might actually be interested in making. So we'll go ahead and trade him to the Boston Celtics, take that salary dump, but we get that $14 million back, and see if we can make any moves with that money. So Carmelo Anthony is there. I don't know what type of, he has no offers. He has 0 offers. We're not even in the ballpark. We're not even close. $10 million away. I don't think there's any way possible we could free up $10 million. But let's go ahead and look at our contracts. We don't really have anybody. We could trade Jordan Clarkson, and for Carmelo Anthony, we definitely might do that. We might need to trade Kent Bazemore as well, making $18 million. So we'll see what we can get for these two guys. Not together, of course. We want to trade one of them. So we'll trade, see if we can get for Kent Bazemore. Feel bad trading Kent Bazemore, but if Carmelo Anthony is there with no other offers on the table, we definitely need to go ahead and make that move happen. So we'll go ahead and see what we can get for him. If we can make any type of salary dump. You guys can get Dwight Howard for Kent Bazemore. Wow. Hassan Whiteside for Kent Bazemore. A lot of good people for Kent Bazemore. That is kind of surprising. This Malik Beasley will be our best salary dump, it looks like, for Bazemore. But we can see what we could do for Jordan Clarkson. No, I actually prefer to keep Jordan Clarkson. If we got to get rid of somebody, it'll be Kent Bazemore, just because Clarkson plays that point guard / shooting guard spot, gives us a little bit more versatility. So we'll go ahead and we'll move Kent Bazemore, and then we'll take a shot at Carmelo Anthony. If we miss this shot, it's definitely huge. Don't want to miss it at all. But we will take the shot and see what happens. So Malik Beasley, we'll take him. And we should have enough money to play out Carmelo. He has no other offers right now. No other offers. He has no choice but to take this offer. We'll see what happens. We'll give him pretty much the exact same deal, the 3 years. We're not going to add a no trade clause to him. And we'll see what happens. He's the only offer. And Carmelo Anthony signs with the Lakers. So we get 2 huge free agents this season. And I don't know how much money we have left. I know we can't sign Milton. I just want to see how much money we have left. So we can get some more cheap players. But our roster looks legit, you guys. We got DeMarcus Cousins, Carmelo Anthony, Brandon Ingram. We'll move Melo to the 4. Brandon Ingram is there. Actually, see if we can move him now to the 4. We'll move Carmelo to the 4 so they don't even try to play him at any other position. Just go straight to the 4, and we'll see what happens. So I don't even know if I'm under the right menu to change the position from right here. I don't think so. Unless I did miss it. So we'll go ahead and move a secondary to small forward, main position power forward, and yeah, we'll rock with this and see what happens. So we'll accept the changes. His overall went down to an 84 overall. I'm not worried about that. But I'd rather have him at the 4. So put him at the 4. DeMarcus Cousins at center. Brandon Ingram is there. Things are not looking bad. Let's move Jordan Clarkson to actual shooting guard for right now too, just so they could for sure play him at the shooting guard position instead of at point guard. And see what that does to his overall. I think he was a 78 before. I could be wrong. He actually went up to an 80. So this is our starting 5, guys. Looks like we got pretty good pretty quick. And hopefully this could be a pretty solid roster. Let's see what else here on free agency. Now we'll need like a backup small forward. We'll need a backup shooting guard. I think we'll probably need a backup point guard. But I'm not too worried about a lot of these guys. See what we can get for like the minimum. We could bring in Henderson for the minimum. Let's go with that. Zach LaVine is restricted. We know we can't afford him. And for point guard, I guess we go with Trey Burke. He shouldn't cost that much. $2 million. Try to sign him. And then as for a backup power forward, we already have a backup power forward. I think we're good. See if we can sign anybody. They're still waiting. Obviously, we're able to get both of them. All right, so now we just need another small forward, and we should be all right. There's one offer that's not okay. So we should be all right. We'll go ahead and we'll try to bring on Jeremy Grant. He shouldn't be expensive at all. So see if he will sign. We have to bring back Julius Randle. We'll match that. Jeremy Grant, we'll go ahead and get that. And I think we're good to go. We have 13 players. I think we're solid, you guys. So let's go ahead and go to player progression. Hopefully Melo does not regress a lot this year. But we'll see what happens. He went down 4, but we changed his position. Brandon Ingram went up to an 85. D'Angelo Russell's at an 84. Jordan Clarkson's at an 80. Julius Randle at a 79. Larry Nance a 78. We have a squad, you guys. We have a very, very good squad. And we might be able to pull something off this year. Definitely, like I said, we have the talent to do it. Let's see if we can pull it off. As for the draft class, once again, once it pops up, we'll go auto-generated rookies. Training camp, the untapped potential. We'll use it on D'Angelo Russell this year. See if he can move up a little bit quicker. And I think we're good to go. I don't think we need to make any trades with this roster. We'll go ahead and look at it one more time just to make sure. And I think we're good to go with this roster, guys. I'm definitely feeling it. Where is our chemistry at? I think we need to move that up. It's at a 59. Hopefully we come out here, start winning some games, and then our chemistry will go up. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and simulate this year. We'll come back at the end of the year and see how it all played out. Alright guys, so we ended off the season with a 47-35 record. Once again, Russell Westbrook is going to win the MVP for the second time in this sim. 25 points a game, 9 assists, and 8.5 rebounds a game. So not bad. Marty Bellamy, he's going to be Rookie of the Year. Dwayne Wade is 6th Man of the Year, still playing for the Bulls, averaging 13 points a game. LeBron James is going to be Defensive Player of the Year. He had 2 steals a game, 1.5 blocks a game. And the Most Improved Player is going to be John Wall, averaging just under 20. Ron Adams, now the coach of the Golden State Warriors, he is going to be the Coach of the Year. They were 62-20 this season. And as for the All-NBA First Team, Karl Anthony Towns is on it now, but pretty much nobody out the usual. Ben Simmons is the All-NBA Second Team. Third Team, DeMarcus Cousins made that as well. And then everything else, pretty much what you're used to at this point. So we'll go through, look at our season stats, and then we'll actually go into the playoffs. So see what everybody did this year. D'Angelo Russell only averaged 18 points a game, only averaged 5 assists a game, so a huge pretty much a fall off season for D'Angelo Russell. DeMarcus Cousins averaged 15 points a game, 10 rebounds a game. You want his points to go up a little higher. Carmelo Anthony, he averaged 14 points a game, 6 rebounds a game, and it could be because we have a lot of talent on this roster. So a lot of people aren't scoring what they usually would score. But we are going to be taking on the Portland Trail Blazers. They are a 3 seed. So we'll look at their roster compared to our roster, and we'll pretty much see what happens. D'Angelo Russell, he went down in his overall a little bit. Like I said, he kind of struggled this year. But we'll go ahead and look at the Trail Blazers, see what they're bringing to the table. They have Damian Lillard at 90, CJ McCollum at 86, Aminu Plumlee. I think we might have a better roster than them. So it could be an interesting series, but we will find out. So game 1, we lose in Portland. We end up splitting once. We come to LA with a 1-1 series. We win at home. Could we do it again? We win at home again. Now we're traveling back to Portland, and we are going to win that series 4-1. So that is definitely good. We're going to be taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder. They are a 7 seed. Let's look at their roster right now. I know they have Russell Westbrook, but we'll see what else they have over there. Russell Westbrook at 93 overall. Steven Adams at 83. Enes Kanter at 82. Our roster is better than their roster. Can we come through with a win? Hopefully we can and go to the Western Conference Finals. So we're at home, and we lose at home for game 1. We end up splitting. We win game 2. We're on the road. We win game 3. Can we win another one in OKC? We can. This looks very similar to the first round. And we win again in 5 games. And we're going to be taking on the Clippers, who are a 5 seed. They did the hard work for us. They defeated the Warriors. And this is probably the best chance we have to try to win a championship. Let's look at the Clippers roster. Pretty much see what happens. At least nobody has to leave. We can go ahead all stay in the Staples Center. But they got Chris Paul. They got Blake Griffin. They got DeAndre Jordan, Victor Oladipo. They got Maurice Spites. They got a lot of good players over here. They even have Andrew Bogut, Austin Rivers. They have a pretty good roster. I think their roster definitely matches up with ours. I'm not sure whose roster is better at all. It's definitely close. It's definitely close. But we'll see what can happen. They're a 5 seed. We are a 6 seed. They're at home for game 1 and they win. They win game 2. We win game 3. Lose game 4. So things are not looking good. And we have been eliminated in 5 games. The Clippers and the Wizards are going to be in the playoffs. In the finals, excuse me. Simulate that. The Clippers are going to be your NBA champions, winning 4 games to 2. We had a chance to win it. Couldn't pull it off. So why not do one last year, you guys? One more year. We have a very good team to see what can happen. Dwayne Wade goes to the Hall of Fame. Jersey retirement. D Wade gets his number retired. They added one more year. Not one more year. One more rule. And everything else. I'm good to go. Let's go ahead and go to rookie signings. I don't even know if we have a draft pick. I'm not really worried about it. I'm not trying to build through the draft in this one at least. Future ones I definitely try to do that, but this one we ain't get nobody good. So we'll actually let both of these guys walk. Team player options. We'll bring them back. Kawhi Leonard actually declined his option. So did Kyrie Irving. But I think we're still pretty solid. So we're gonna offer our restricted free agent to D'Angelo Russell, Larry Nance, and we'll go ahead and do Zubac. So we'll see what happens there. We have bird rights on Russell and Larry Nance. So we can go over the cap to try to bring those guys back. Trey Burke, will he come back for the minimum? It looks like he can. We're negative $11 million in the hole. So we don't have money like we did before. So we'll go ahead and see what happens. And hopefully we could at least sign somebody. We don't have money for nobody right now. So we'll see what happens. And Trey Burke, he is still thinking about it. We gave him the minimum. So hopefully he'll sign for the minimum. He's still thinking about it. And besides that, we're going to match any other offer that comes across the table. So Trey Burke will sign. So we bring him back. Definitely a plus. And now we're just kind of playing the waiting game. D'Angelo Russell looks like he's a top free agent right now. Doesn't have any offers, and that is good. If we can bring him back cheap, that's definitely good for us. Kemba Walker is out there as well. And it looks like a very dry free agency period, honestly. So we'll go ahead. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and see what kind of centers is out there. Dwight Howard is still there. See if we can bring somebody here very, very cheap. Like for the minimum cheap. So maybe Andrew Bogut for 1 season. He'll do the minimum. See if he'll take that. So he'll take that for the minimum, which is good. We're still waiting on D'Angelo Russell. Still waiting on Larry Nance. And they are really taking their time. The really not a huge market for him right now, which is kind of surprising. No offers are on the table. Besides, I think just ours. So that's definitely good. We should be able to get them cheap. I'm sure they will wait it out as long as possible so they can sign for the most money. But nobody did anything. So we get Zubac back. We get Larry Nance Jr. back. And we get D'Angelo Russell for $9 million, you guys. That's absolutely crazy. So anyway, looking at the player progressions, Carmelo dropped, but we have DeMarcus Cousins at a 91, Brandon Ingram at 88, D'Angelo Russell at 87. We have no excuse not to win this year, guys. This is absolutely no excuse for us not to win a championship in year 4. This is our last year to try to do it. If we can't get it done here, then we might have to try it again some other time, you guys. But we definitely need to try to go ahead and get this done this season. So as for untapped potential, why not using it on D'Angelo Russell one more time? I know he's already at an A, but we can move that up a little bit. So go ahead, go into the season, and pretty much the exact same thing. We don't have nothing to do. We have no money. So we'll go ahead and simulate this whole season through, come back at the end of the year and see how the season ended up turning out. Alright guys, so we finished with a 62-20 record. Absolutely crazy. But look at this, the MVP goes to James Harden, averaged 34 points a game and 8.5 assists a game, shooting 49% from the field, 46% from the three-point line. A crazy season for James Harden. Looking at the sixth man of the year, you got Cameron Payne, average just under 14 points a game. Paul George, the defensive player of the year. We have the most improved player. It's going to be Gerald Hammonds, I believe that is. Andrew Mason is the coach of the year. And the Trailblazers went 63-19, but only an 84 overall. So they end up having a better record than us by 1 game. And looking at the All-NBA first team, pretty much nothing different. A lot of times it's kind of going to be the same for the most part. John Wall's on the All-NBA second team. Jimmy Butler once again is on the third team. And we're pretty much good to go. So we are a 3 seed because the Warriors are a 1 seed. So we're a 3 seed this year. But let's go ahead and look at our stats for our last season and see what kind of happened. So D'Angelo Russell had 21 points a game. So he finally improved because he had the off year last year. Brandon Ingram, he had 16 points a game. Carmelo Anthony had 14. DeMarcus Cousins, 13 points, 8 rebounds a game. Jordan Clarkson and Julius Randle and Larry Nance, they're both down there as well. So we're taking on the Clippers. Look at their roster, look at our roster, kind of compare the two because I think our roster is better. Everybody on our team is pretty much an 80 and up for the most part. Let's go ahead and look at the Clippers, see what they have. They got Chris Paul, they got Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, Victor Oladipo's back, and that is about it. I think our roster is better and our roster is deeper than their roster. So we'll see what happens here in game 1. We end up winning that one, which is good. We win game 2. We win game 3. Can we finish out this series? We lose. Can we win this in 5? We're able to get them in 5. So we do get a little bit of a revenge because they did beat us last year. The Warriors once again disappoint. They lose in the first round. So we're taking on the Timberwolves. They should have a pretty decent roster by now. Let's go ahead and take a look, see how everything shaped up for them. They got Karl Anthony Towns at 94, Andrew Wiggins at 86, Chris Dunn at 85, Zach LaVine at 82, Gorgie Dang at 81. Pretty good roster. I still think our roster is a little bit better, but we'll find out. They are a 7 seed. We take care of business in the Staples Center, win game 1. We win game 2. Now heading to Minnesota, we lose, but we win game 4. We're back in the Staples Center for game 5. We're able to do that, and once again, we're taking on the OKC Thunder, who just swept the Houston Rockets. So let's go ahead and take a look at their roster right now, see what the Thunder are working with. And they still have Russell Westbrook, 93 overall. Still have Steven Adams, Ernest Cantor, Cameron Payne now at 80 overall. Sadonis at 80 overall. I think our roster is better than theirs, a little bit more deep than theirs, but hopefully we can win. They are an 8 seed. Just the fact they got here is definitely crazy. But we win game 1. Can we win game 2? So we take care of business at home, which is definitely good. We win game 3. We lose game 4. Can we win this one in 5? We win game 5, and we have a showdown against the Cleveland Cavaliers. This one is huge. Let's go ahead and look at their roster right now. See what Cleveland is really working with in the East. So they have LeBron James still, Kyrie Irving still, Kevin Love, Tristan Thompson, Doug McDermott is there as well, Dion Waiters is still there, but that is about it. I can't say that's it. They have a very good roster. I just think our roster is a little bit better. Not a little bit better. I think our roster is clearly better than theirs. But anything can happen. They are a 1 seed. They have home court advantage, it looks like. No, we should have it. But anyway, let's go ahead and look and see what happens. So we win game 1. We win game 2. Win game 3. And now all we have to do is win 1. All we got to do is not lose 4 games in a row, which is definitely good. So we'll go ahead and go with Simcast and see if we can win a game, pull one out, and win the NBA Finals. So during the first quarter, we go to a pretty good lead. You see Cleveland battling back, kind of going back and forth for the most part here in the third quarter. Hopefully we could take the lead here and just win this series and get this series over with. We have the lead now, but the Cavaliers are going to pull away, and they're going to end up getting this victory. So they do win this one, but we'll go ahead, go to the next game. Hopefully we can win this game right here. We are at home. Hopefully we can close out at home. We have another lead again. Hopefully we can hold on to this lead. You see us up by a couple points. It's still kind of close though in the third quarter. Kind of pulling away a little bit. But the Cavaliers are going to surge back. But now we're pulling away again. Hopefully we can go ahead and hold this one off this time. It looks like we're going to do it. So go ahead and get this down as low as possible. And that is pretty much it, you guys. I'm going to let you guys see the NBA Finals celebration. We end up pulling this off in the 4th season. Team chemistry had a 96, had a 62 win season. Brandon Ingram had 20 points in this game. Jordan Clarkson 18, D'Angelo Russell 16. We looked pretty good. LeBron James balled for them. But that was about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please go ahead, leave this video a like, helps me out a lot. And let me know in the comment section below, what team do you want to see me rebuild next? I'll definitely go ahead and make sure I get that done. But like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please go ahead, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Subscribe if you haven't already. It's your boy D Lloyd. I'm see y'all next time. Peace.
And that's it, folks. The Los Angeles Lakers have won it all. Wow.
Well, they did it. And as they celebrate, you can just see the relief, the exhilaration that comes with winning it all.
And Clark, you have to hand it to the entire organization. They worked together to get right here.
And guys, what a reward for the fan base. I mean, I know one thing. They're going to enjoy this memory for a long, long time.
And we have enjoyed our time with you folks all season long. This is Kevin Harlan saying so long. Have a wonderful summer.